Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. The topic we're covering today is a question. Why is my husband disconnected from me? This is very deep. You need to make sure your seatbelt is on because part of it may hurt you. And I'm not here to hurt you. I am here to show you in a truthful, candid way what you actually can do to change things big time. Now, if you're already a subscriber, you know that our approach here is very positive. In one comment recently, someone was very, very praising of how we do it, that we focus on love, we focus on the reasons, and they were comparing us to traditional marriage counseling, which focuses on problems. Obviously, we begin the process of positive change with a problem. It gets our attention, doesn't it? So this one is, why is my husband disconnected from me? Is describing a feeling that you have, not just a feeling, but a reality, that you don't have the same connection you had even when you first met. When you first met each other, and I know what they say, that it's infatuation. Perhaps in many cases it is. Sometimes it takes time to get to know each other. But there's a realization at some point that you love this man, that he is your soulmate. And I don't use that term soulmate lightly. It is has a very profound meaning. We are souls, or you can't have a soulmate. It's not just an expression. We're souls. And a soul is comprised of love. It's the consciousness of love, joy, wisdom. You might say we're a chip off the old block. We're a part of God. And this is not a religious discussion, but your true nature, who you actually are, is what you discovered when you fell in love with your soulmate. And you wanted that. You still do. You always will. Because it's the nature of us as human beings. When we are living in our state of consciousness as a soul, it is almost an imperative. It's necessary for us to come together. It's like a setup. It's a beautiful setup. I think God is amazing. I mean, some people look at God with total fear and reverence. I look at God as amazing. I have plants on my porch, and I look at the plants on my porch, and I was talking with my wife this morning as we were enjoying our coffee, sitting on our porch, and I said, honey, look at this. This plant, this one plant, is such a work of art. And look at this plant. It's completely different. And it's such a work of art. And every leaf, every flower is this beautiful work of art. Well, look at how he has created us as human beings. We too are works of art. His greatest accomplishments, because he created us in his image. His image is not about our height, our weight, our hair color, and all of that. It's about us, souls. We're souls. And we're comprised of love. And when you met your soulmate, there was this spark of recognition, the ability to open your heart to your soulmate, because it's hard to open your heart in the world. And there was a connection, wasn't there? And it was sweet. So the real question isn't, can I have a connection with my husband? The real question isn't even, why is my husband disconnected from me, as he now is? The real question is, what did we do wrong? And because we have individual free will and tremendous power, oh my God, free will is amazing, the real question has to become, in order for us to do something about this, what can I do? What can I now do to reestablish that connection that I and he so much desire, so much want. It is us. When we have that connection with our soulmate, that is the real us. It's deep. It's fulfilling. The secret behind it is it's not about him. It's about you opening your heart. It's not about the things that you do. You know, we have courses for women. We have courses for men in order to help people take their marriage that is sliding off the cliff, and with education about what marriage is, and with teachings about how to maintain and master your mind so that you can open your heart. It's all about opening your heart. Some people try a shortcut. They say, well, all I have to do is act lovingly. You may even say that now in response to my words in this video. You may say, well, act lovingly. I do everything for him. I care about him. It isn't in the action. It's not in the action. You don't ask a flower to produce a scent. A flower is a flower. It produces the scent. We as human beings are love until we get caught up in our mundane lives, our day-to-day lives, and we forget to remain in the consciousness of love. In fact, we're not taught this, so it's not your fault, it's not his fault. We are not taught about who we are, about what we are when we're growing up. And there is so much to learn. That's what we do at the Marriage Foundation. We teach people so they know, because you do have to know. You can't wing it. You can't just get married and expect your marriage to just fall into place and have marital bliss. No, there are many forces, and I'm not trying to sound like an evangelist or anything, but there are many forces working against us being who we are. Well, look at them. There's temptation. There's anger. Should I go on, or do you get the picture? So we have to remain in that consciousness of love. We can't just act lovingly. We can't just do the right thing. Of course, I can identify what are the actions that exemplify love. You can too, like appreciation, support, listening, being there. There's so many. Loyalty is the highest expression of love. But you can't just do the actions. That isn't why your husband married you. That isn't what you were connected about. As a woman, it's very different than for a man. As a woman, you're closer to yourself, your true self, when you are being loving, when you are being a Madonna, the beautiful golden light of love in his life. Because men have a more difficult time with that, because men tend towards reason, women towards feeling. And then, I could go on tangents here about, I'm not talking about emotion, but I'll just say that I'm not talking about emotion. So why is your husband disconnected from you? Is because you are not exemplifying the woman who he, maybe it was a projection, but who he married. The light of love in his life. The one who doesn't argue with him, doesn't fight with him, doesn't criticize him, doesn't complain to him, but is there for him, is love, and isn't there for him while fighting her mind, saying, okay, Paul says I got to be there for him, so, he's saying a bunch of crap, but I'm going to go along with him anyway. That won't work. It's a process. That's why in our course that I mentioned before, it's a two-pronged process, our course. Part of it is an absolute necessity, learning how to master your mind. This may be over your head, but it's still a reality. You can't even be happy until you've mastered your mind, because the mind doesn't know love. And the other is learning about marriage, just basic protocols of marriage, basic rules of interaction. And that is where you have to get back to. So your husband is disconnected from you now because it's not there. You can try swimming all you want, but if you're not in a body of water, you won't be swimming. You can't just go through the motions. You actually have to live in that state of love. And then I promise you, it will work. It will work. You know, there is a thing about marriage that we profess at the Marriage Foundation that other people don't, because they don't get it. And that is very simple. If you know what you're doing, if you have the proper education and you apply what you learn, and if you learn to master your mind, your marriage will continually grow in love and joy till the day you die. You will be living in marital bliss. It will shock you. It still shocks me. Literally, it gets better every single day. And you could look at the testimonials that we have. Thousands of people have reported the same thing. When they learn how to be married, learn how to master their minds, their lives just get better and better and better. Some people, unfortunately, think, well, you know, I'll do this and it works, and then they stop doing it. And then they write into us and they go, oh, I stopped doing it. You know, it was 3 years ago, it changed our lives, and they forgot. And go back to the course. Just go back. There's never a too late. We never have a too late at the Marriage Foundation. So I hope this is sinking in for you. I hope you understand. You have in your marriage the most amazing potential, the most amazing, it's literally the same potential that the saints who made the effort to become saints have. The exact same process is required. Always boils down to love, learning to love. And I'm not some hippy-dippy flower girl saying, oh, love, love, love. That's not it. Love is the truth of what we are. And joy is the truth of love. Oh, that sounded good, didn't it? I didn't think that through before I said it. I love doing this. I really do. It's so cool. I'll tell you a little secret. I never, ever prepare for these talks. The only time I have to is like if I'm doing 7 this or 9 this or 2 this, because then I have to jot down what it is. But then I'm going to tell you what I do. I open my heart. I tune in. And what comes out is not really of me. Now, clearly some of it is remembrances of things that have worked in the past. But I become what you want to become in your marriage, a channel. Because who owns this show after all? Whose game is this at the end of the day? We're on a stage, we play our roles, but I believe, I know that God wants love. He gave us the opportunity, the ability to become love and express it. And so that's what I try to do here. Now, for those of you who have been following and you really want to become a TMF marriage counselor, we want you to be. This is going to be a new part of our business, which is actually the original part of what I was doing, which was working with couples after I left being a divorce mediator. Can you imagine? I used to be a divorce mediator. I'm almost embarrassed to say so. I actually believed in divorce in those days. And I had an awakening. And since then, we want more people to be part of that awakening. The awakening that marriage is sacred, it's beautiful, it's divine, but you need to know how. You need to know how. So, God bless you. Thank you for visiting. And don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to like the video and leave a comment if you wish. God bless you. Take care.